Is it bad to paint from photographs? I don't know if there's another topic that divides artists as much as this one. I didn't even go to art school, and even I know this is an ongoing, raging debate. I can see both sides of the argument, but I also have a pretty strong opinion, and that is yes, I firmly believe you can paint from photographs. By all means, paint from photographs. In fact, paint from anything, paint from movies, paint from other people's drawings, paint from images you see on your social media feed, and of course, paint from life. So there are really passionate people out there who would disagree for various reasons. Some of the reasons they give are it's lazy because you're not composing an image yourself, or you're not making color choices, or you may be using someone else's photo and in danger of violating their copyright. And there's also technical reasons why painting from a photograph is not the same as painting the real thing. You can look these up, but generally camera lenses can distort the scene, including the perspective and the depth, depending on the focal length. And cameras still don't do a great job of capturing the full range of colors our eyes can see. Lights may become just white, and darks may become purely black. Basically, the idea is that you're shortchanging the artistic process and yourself if you paint from a photograph. So never do it. I don't think there's really any use to being that dogmatic about this. Of course, there are drawbacks to using photos, and you should definitely not turn someone else's photo into a painting without giving proper credit. But there are a ton of benefits from using photos as references, and I'll go into those in a bit. I recently vacationed in Bermuda with my family for the first time, and I painted this beach scene on the southern coast. When we travel, I usually try to find a place and an opportunity to do some plein air painting. It's usually not the main purpose of the trip, but while we're sightseeing and experiencing a different way of life, I'm constantly scouting for things that I want to paint. Now, I could have just taken my pictures and painted the scene back at our hotel or at home, but I really wanted to plant myself and paint something both for the experience and also for the things that I knew I'd gain from it. There are some things that you just have to experience yourself to really get it. Painting outside and dealing with the elements and changing light and dynamic subject matter is part of that. But the coolest thing is how these experiences will embed in your subconsciousness, and they'll inform how you paint in the studio. You'll have the experience of what a beach sunset looked and felt like, the brilliant range of colors that you saw, and none of your pictures you take will do that justice. So I did this knowing from my plein air experiences that I'm going to capture tonal nuances that it will be hard for me to detect till later in the studio. So I sat there and I captured the amazing blue-green water, and I felt pretty good with my attempt. For the majority of my paintings, I'm actually painting from photographs that I've taken. Whenever I can, I try to paint from life because it helps build up my mental database of colors and how they look in the real world. Painting on the beach that day gave me perspective and experience that I wouldn't have had otherwise. I know that the water that day was a mix of my phthalo blue and my Hansa yellow medium. Now I could go back to a photo I took that day and know how to approach that watercolor again. So this is how I approach photos. I keep them in context, in their place. I know that a photo may be adequate in a lot of situations, but where it's a new environment that I haven't painted before, or there are a lot of color complexities, I know that a photo will only be a rough capture. Now, there are also many good reasons to paint from a photograph. A photograph can be the spark for a great painting. Maybe you've seen something that inspires you to paint. You don't even have to paint the actual subject, but you take a picture because there's something there that you want to paint. Or maybe you've even seen some great shadows and you want to study how they fall on different surfaces. There are also practical reasons. There's the weather, there's just the logistics of traveling somewhere, there's safety concerns, there's changing light. Maybe the subject matter is so detailed, like the crowds at a baseball game, or maybe you're just not physically able to paint on location. Those are all totally legitimate reasons. But maybe you also just want to try and paint something exactly as you shot it. I do that all the time. And I'll challenge myself knowing that a photo may not perfectly capture it, but I know the feeling that inspired that picture and I try to hang on to that. And ironically, this is where a photo gives room for my personality and style to shine. And in the end, no one's coming after me because my colors weren't exactly true to life. So if you're in doubt, yes, I say you can and should learn to paint guilt-free from photographs. There are so many things you can learn if you keep a proper perspective about reference photos. But at the same time, get outside as often as you can. If you do that, you'll improve your skills and build up your knowledge in your own unique way. If you enjoyed this or have any questions, let me know in the comments below. And please give this a like. I'm Francis Shui. I'm an artist based here in New York City. I love to share about my art and my processes, especially as someone who started art later in life. Until the next time, go and paint.